everybody here physically, if not emotionally?
Yes.
Let's do this.
Steve's still absent, I think.
Is Stiiv still absent? He still has a little clock on his avatar. We should talk about him while he's gone.
Well, we've just had a big discussion about what we're going to do to you in this session.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. It's been like those rushed kind of weeks and stuff. So I haven't like prepared to the level that I normally prepare. It's so obvious how much I prepare, really.
You prepared a hell of a lot more than I would. Or do, to be fair.
So as opposed to there being like 85, custom items and weirdo descriptions of stuff and random nonsense, there's one random thing. And if you find it, you win a prize.
Ooh.
You don't win a prize. It's not a good prize. Stiiv! It looks like Stiiv is back!
Yay.
Hi, Stiiv.
Hi, Stiiv! So, when last we were together, stuff happened. It was kind of like downtime. You found yourself with this really messed up house, lots of trash around, but it is now cleared of smugglers and dead things. It needs a lot of repairs, and it had a lot of trash. So you've picked up two of the smugglers as kind of hireling employees, and one of them is Rocky, loosely termed hobgoblin, but he's not a pure hobgoblin. You suspect he's one of those hobgoblin elves that have popped up in Eberron recently. And the other is Chef Perkins, because nobody can resist a good chef. And he makes very nice, tasty bacon. So, you guys, I don't have a name for it. Health Goblin is probably the best. But Chef Perkins, he makes excellent, tasty bacon, and you guys go through a lot of tasty bacon. He makes the fried squid and waffles with the spicy syrup that is so popular in Saltmarsh. So you've kept...
Or was that just me?
What?
Nah, she cut out.
I cut out?
Squid. Yeah.
Well, everybody except for the people watching on Twitch know what I said.
Okay.
You love Chef Perkins, okay?
We do.
We do, it's true.
It's true. So, Rocky's been cleaning up a little bit, earning his silver. And, but it's a large job. And though it's been almost 2 weeks since he first cleared out this formerly haunted house that belonged to a long deceased alchemist. Since it's been almost 2 weeks since you cleared it out of smugglers, but it was so trashed that Rocky's made a partial dent in the mess. You, meanwhile, have all kind of honed your skills. You're waiting for the new moon when you have reason to believe that the actual smuggler ship is due to arrive. And you've done things like double-checked some of your skills. You know a lot more than you did a month ago. And you've gone into town, you've talked to your contact on the town council, Anders Solmar, trying to keep it hush-hush what's going on, but he gave you some miscellaneous equipment, some healing potions to help you with trying to take down the smuggler's ship. And he offered if you need help with anything, he will do his best to assist you.
And his butler is the mastermind of everything evil within a 50-mile radius.
Okay, so you
Give
you
away
went
the
to his
plot.
house. Two of you, Kymir and Shaefira, went on a little shopping trip. They visited with Anders Solmar, and they picked up some stuff in the market. They wanted to borrow a ladder, so Anders is like, "Come on over to my house." You meet the butler. The butler did not make a good impression, but the butler, his name is Scarin Wave Chaser, if I remember correctly. He is an elf. And I believe Shaefira has some strong suspicions that he is not all that he seems. There's more to him than being a simple butler, something in the way he moves. Everybody, do an insight check for me.
In the tower or anywhere?
Oh, you can do it out in the open. What have you got to hide?
Nothing, because I don't see a thing.
I'm on brand. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
doing well.
Lucky for all of you, Kymir has figured out some stuff.
Wow,
So
that's amazing. Not the brightest spark in the toolbox.
he meditated a while, and all of a sudden it came to him, in a flash of light, because while you were clearing out the haunted house in the cellar level, Sanbalay, the necromancer's rooms, you found a piece of parchment, and I will share that with you again. And you've used this time, you've studied it, because up until now you've had a real hard time with smuggler codes. The whole short, long knocking system they were using, it's just bizarre. And then you found this piece of paper, and you know that it has something to do. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the signaling system and a hooded lantern that you saw a spectral version of Sanbalay using when just before you had to fight off the white version of Sanbalay who came back from the dead. Yeah, fun times. Well, most of you have continued to be bemused by this piece of parchment, not quite getting what the hell it means. But while doing his meditations, Kymir suddenly had this inspiration. And he's figured out that the first signal must be what the ship signals to the house to communicate that not only are they in range, but to kind of inquire, is it safe to start approaching the house? Because after all, they don't know what's been going on, is Kymir's assumption. Therefore, they need to know if the other smugglers are still in the house. Kymir figures that the second signal is, and I didn't mention, the first signal he thinks is a long light with the hooded lantern, and followed by 3 short flashes of light. And then the second line he thinks is a signal that the people in the haunted house gave back to the boat to signify that everything was safe. And that is short, long, short, long. And then he thinks that the last signal is something that the ship uses in response to that, saying, ready to unload, come to the ship, to the smugglers on shore. And that is 3 long flashes of light. Isn't Kymir smart?
Kymir's super smart.
Like, so insightful. Meditation is a great tool, y'all. Not only does it lower your blood pressure, but it tells you how smuggler signaling systems work.
That's a pretty cool track.
That or the DM figures that we can.
I made you roll.
Hey, I just was
I mean,
smuggling
if
rice.
everybody rolled low-
I didn't have
Different.
any big flashy lights or anything, so we never did that.
So you have that information. It is now... It's in Baracus. The 27th, the day of the new moon. The ship is due. You woke up in the morning, and for the past 2 weeks, Jawsdes the lizard folk has been with you. But when you wake up the morning of the new moon, he's cleared out. And you find a piece of parchment has been left behind, a note, which seems kind of weird for Jawsdes because it's not like him to just leave things behind. And it seems to be a note written in a language that Stiiv and Kymir and Shaefira do not understand. But when Kereithlana looks at it, she's like, oh, it's Draconic. And it appears to be a message to Jawsdes from someone named Othokent, commanding him to return to a certain set of coordinates in the Basura swamp because he is needed to serve the lizard folk tribe.
Well, so, I guess he won't be here for the smuggler ship.
He's going to be annoyed, he bags his head.
I know he was a lizard man with the plan.
Mm-hmm. He had a plan.
She's more than the rest of us had.
Let's see. Would any of you have local... Well, Steve's the only one to have local knowledge, but would he have lizard folk local knowledge? No, I don't think so.
Probably not. Probably not.
So I'm not going to let you roll on anything.
Did we know about the whole... Because didn't he tell us he'd gone for some kind of trial to be a shaman for his tribe or something like that?
I don't know if he'd actually talked to any of you guys about that.
No, I can't remember either. All right, then I'll just forget that I said that.
But someone named Othokent commanded him to return to the lizard folk, and he has apparently acquiesced.
So now we have these chickens making all these eggs. I guess we just have to eat them.
Yeah.
Chef Perkins isn't bothered. He can use those eggs. You know, he uses them in the waffles. He do a nice omelet.
Maybe even a frittata.
Yeah, frittata. Saltmarsh frittata is rather spectacular and strange. It has a bit of seaweed in and mussels.
Ooh, so it's kind of like a more like tamago. That's good.
Do you think he'd do Corvair toast with bacon?
Oh yeah, he totally takes because he's your chef, so he'll take requests. I mean, if you're eating like
So we're eating
the Age
good
of
up until
if
the
you're
new
doing one of
moon.
those Age of Demons diets, where there's a lot of brimstone and just flesh.
Age of Demons.
He'll try to keep up with your special requests because he's a chef, but he's also an artist. So that's how you
Dale Cure Beach diet. Sorry.
There should be like a 3-Year-Old Cove diet. It's just raw fish and grog.
Oh, okay.
All right.
On track.
I know, I'm like giggling. Oh my god, it's so off on tangents.
Right on cue.
So yeah, 27th of Baracus. I'm pretty sure that's what day it is. I'm not going to open up the calendar again to remind myself.
It is. I just checked it.
So you woke up sad panda, and so Chef Perkins, he made you a bunch of pancakes, and they're all with like little happy faces made out of the tasty bacon to try to cheer you guys up.
We don't pay Chef Perkins enough.
We paid him yet at all?
No, you haven't. You haven't paid anybody yet.
Maybe we should do that.
I was going to give you like 2 more weeks of game time before it became an issue.
It's 80 gold for both of them for a month. So do we just want to chip in 20 each?
That
I believe
sounds reasonable.
Shaefira has a fair amount of cash at the moment, but whether or not she's going to let me tell everyone.
Oh
about
yeah, I forgot about that.
that. We should. Yeah, so would I. Yeah. It's money. I not forgot that.
Shaefira hasn't mentioned it, has she?
No, not
but
yet.
I know about it.
Yeah, Kymir knows, but Shaefira hasn't brought it up to anybody else.
Well, it's not as gold. Because right now, Kymir's the baller extreme for gold.
Really?
Have I? What have
Yeah,
I got?
look in the party sheet. You can see who's got what.
132.
Did I
Yeah,
not give it to the right person?
No,
Shaefira's
I've got
got it.
1,000. I've got 1,000 and something in mine.
Yeah.
1,088 gold pieces.
Oh, it's not listed in your treasure then, or not marked as GP, I should say.
It is on her sheet though, so I don't know. Maybe it's because it's in a slightly different order than something. I don't know.
Well, as long as it's marked as GP, it should be.
She
got
knows.
GP.
She knows what she has.
She does. Okay. And it's super stealthy.
Yeah, that's the rogue. That's the rogue in her.
Yeah. So I'm happy to chip in for the guys' wages.
I picked up the 1,000 gold pieces off the Anders chap, so that can be put towards the wages.
Does that mean you're volunteering to the party that you've actually got all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your payment for investigating your property, this haunted house that you have the deed for, and clearing it of any smugglers.
That's well earned.
So, if you're sharing it with the people present, that would.
So wait, that means she's got our money.
Well, she's keeping it safe for you.
I picked it up on behalf of us all.
Did we know about Anders offering us the money for doing it though?
Yeah.
Were we all there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure all of you were there. Stiiv wasn't there.
Was it?
Oh yeah. Stiiv was being
it
a
was
tomato man.
Stiiv was hanging out at one of the bars, the one I can't remember the name of right now, and he was disguised as Esteban Urkel. Esteban Urkel.
Urkel.
The most interesting man in Saltmarsh.
Yep, he's on the dramatis person.
Oh, am I? Oh, okay. Or
Yeah.
sorry, is he?
Yes,
Is he?
he is.
Yes, he
I spelled his
is.
name. I've spelled his name right.
I spell it like 5 different ways.
Well, that's how it's spelled on your notes to the local lore.
I know, and that is actually the right spelling. But do I remember the right spelling that I invented? No! That's not the way things work.
Why would they remember that? Snapping line.
Snapping line. Yeah, the broken net kept coming into my mind, and I knew that wasn't the right one because that's the dive bar that is close to where Steve's hovel is.
Yeah, that's the one I go to is me.
So, where were we? Oh yeah. So if you're gonna divvy up the money that Shaefira picked up for you guys completing that job, amongst the people here, everybody would get 250 gold.
Yes.
But we spent 30 shopping.
I think I already took that out of her inventory.
All right. Okay.
So that was on Shaefira's
on me,
purse.
Yeah. So what do I do? Just put 750 in the gold pieces in the party thing.
No, just give yourself 250. And Shaefira will have to subtract 750. Which will be 338 is how much gold Shaefira should have. So yeah, you can divvy up you can each shell up 20 gold to pay your staff's salary.
We lost Grim in Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed.
She just tried to shut a computer down for some bizarre reason.
It's
been a
Saturday night.
really
That's
long
what you
week.
do.
Yeah.
All right, so, and now that we've distributed, are we then removing the 20 for our?
Yes.
Okay,
I've
so
removed.
3.
I think that's the order of operations.
There we go.
And we're taking 20 off, did you say?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we can,
sorted.
because we can pay Rocky and Chef Perkins, so we don't have a staff riot and can
Well-
continue eating well.
Since they've technically worked for you for 2 weeks, they're good for another 2 weeks.
Oh no! My notes said it was that was a monthly.
Yeah, but they've
30 gold a month.
It's been 2 weeks since they started working for you.
Oh, right. So we're paying them in arrears and then ahead. Gotcha.
I can put on the
I think
calendar.
it's fair enough. Sign a
I
good
was
faith.
And
just
really,
about to do
this
that.
works really nice because it's pretty much the end of the month. So let's say I'll put it on the calendar that you'll need to pay them again, like on the 28th of Ron. That'll be the end of the month.
Oh, that works really nice since it's the last day of every month.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's convenient.
It's awesome.
Just in time for them to pay rent. Oh,
It's-
wait, never mind.
It's on the calendar. You guys have bills. This is what adventure's all about.
Yay!
I thought we're supposed to get away from.
Don't you feel heroic? You paid your first bill.
That reminds me, I need to pay bills after the session.
So the day has proceeded. Is there anything you want to do to prepare? Like, this is when I guess you should start planning because sundown is going to approach, and I'm assuming that when the sun goes down, you want to start doing whatever you're going to do to address this smuggler ship situation.
Okay, so we get Perkins on the tasty bacon.
Okay, Perkins will spend the next 8 hours making turkey bacon. I mean, tasty bacon.
Excellent.
Sorry, I had turkey bacon for breakfast. It's still lodged in the brain somewhere.
There's still some potions of healing in the party inventory if we want to distribute those before we
Yeah, I've
potentially
got a
take on.
and a normal healing, so I was going to wait for everyone to take theirs before I started.
I got one
And-
regular and one greater.
Since this
So-
isn't a TR cache, some
Yeah.
things will be removed from the party inventory.
Yeah, we don't get a shared bank.
Right, okay. So, who was taking the bag of holding?
I thought Steve were going to take it.
Was I going to take it?
I don't know. I don't mind actually. Whoever wants to.
I thought Jaws Des was going to take it, but if he
Who's
didn't take
got
it,
Who's got that lantern?
Just S.
Nope, I've got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
let's just assume. Okay, let's look at Jaws Des' inventory.
Let's just
And-
assume he had left the things we need for the quest.
Being probably the most sensible person in the party, left anything that he thought was mission critical.
So, actually, I have. Wow, that was the complete degradation of speech.
No, I think you're cool unless you want the tarp that went with the jolly boat when you're storing it.
I'll go ahead and if no one else is leaping for it, I'll go ahead and take the bag of holding and just stuff everything in it.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Any objections?
No.
No.
Okay.
And I think people have like maybe overlooked it, but there is this very large, strange purple dragon shard object that you found in the alchemist's laboratory. It's not gold.
So, do any of us know? Well, that's a good point. Do any of us know
So we
what
need
dragon
to-
shard is? Would we recognise?
Oh yeah, you know what dragon shards are. It's I mean because they're used throughout Eberron for magical things. Everybody do an Arcana check.
Because I was kind of thinking, I would just assume it's something to do with the magic casting. Wow. Okay.
Did that work?
No, it didn't. It didn't show up in the window. And you know what's
Yay.
going to suck is if it was a good roll, your next roll is going to be absolutely terrible.
Yeah, you're right on that front. It was a 2.
That's exactly
I've
what
no
happens to me.
Yeah, I've no idea why that's not coming through. Let's try it again.
There it is.
Awesome.
So, Kereithlana, because you're used to hanging out in the ocean, you don't realize it, but everybody else, it's really obvious to them that this is a very large Kymir dragon shard.
Ooh.
And Steve's like, and Shaefira, you guys are pretty certain that because this was something that the alchemist was using, you suspect it
Oh, we
was.
lost you.
You suspect that this had something to do with the alchemist's magic.
And Kereithlana, remind me, didn't you say something last week about you felt that the alchemist had been experimenting to turn things into gold?
Yes.
Right.
Which is supported by the ribs and random golden objects.
items, yeah. But didn't you also say you thought they were tainted?
I think he was using necromantic energy to power it.
Right. So could you just sell them and get rid of them, or do you just not think we should do that?
I think selling them's probably a bad thing to do. So we need to look at how to dispose of them safely.
Right. Into the bag of holding for now, then, Stiiv.
Yeah, it's where it's going. Yeah. I'm just shoving everything in the bag of holding right now.
Shove.
Can I take that last potion of healing then? Is everyone else good?
Go for it.
Okay, because I keep trying to die, so.
Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, everybody do a history check.
Ooh.
This is a sucky roll as well.
Because you've had some time to get to know things about the town and stuff.
Oh,
Kymir.
not so much.
What Kymir does know, it occurs to Kymir that from what you've heard about the captain of the town guard, Eleander Fireborn, he has a well-known library. There were books in his office when you met with him before, and you've heard people talking about how he has a vast collection and that he's very proud of, and that he's always acquiring new books. So, keep that in mind, that if you come across anything interesting, there's always a slight possibility that Eleander Fireborn might want to buy it off of you, since he's a collector.
Okay.
Kereithlana, I was just going to suggest that can you use the plate armor, or are you already have it?
What, it
I'm
impede her
too
swimming?
feeble.
Too feeble.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm strength 14. That's
I
my
don't think
strength.
anybody is strong enough to use it.
Yeah, I'm not proficient with it anyway.
It's been no use to me whatsoever.
So that's the
There's
kind of
one-
thing you could sell off at the Faithful Quartermaster of Milicia.
There wasn't anything unusual about it, was it? It was just a thing.
It is plate armor. You can't tell that there's anything fancy about it, particularly. I mean, it seems to be just a masterwork suit of plate armor. It, I think, is actually something you pried off of that dead guy you found in the wine cellar.
Oh,
So it's not necessarily pristine. It needs a bit of a good clean, and if you set Rocky to polishing it up, it'll look good for when you try to sell it.
Can we tell him to polish it with whiskey?
Absolutely. You gotta get him some whiskey though.
There's one more piece of tasty bacon left, and Does the dragon shard and the stone need to be ID'd, or are those just blank entries?
The dragon shard needs to be ID'd. The stone needs to be ID'd. So
Okay.
you would have to either identify them, or you would need to attune to them to understand what they are.
Oh, I know. I meant like so they need to be identified. That was. But okay, never mind.
I already have 3 tasty bacons, so I
I've
don't know
got
how many.
2.
I've got 2.
I've got
Take the bacon.
I'll take the bacon.
Take the bacon. You guys have gone through a lot of bacon, and I'm pretty sure you're going to go through more.
I'm sure.
I mean, and you just told Jeff Perkins to make more tasty bacon.
that's planning.
So
Because we have a bad feeling about
and
this.
he takes you at his word. He's like cooking up. He like basically goes and gets a pig.
Just get a whole pig.
Just randomly finds a pig.
He's gone to the butcher. He's gotten a whole slab of bacon. He's slicing up nice and thick, and he's just been preparing it all day, doing whatever special herbs and spices and rituals make it so tasty. Just
Like we
the
got-
right amount of crispness.
So we got the applewood smoked tasty bacon. We got the
Mhm.
peppered tasty bacon. We got the hickory tasty bacon.
Yep.
I'm hungry now.
And he's made a lot. He's made a significant amount of tasty bacon. So I did a roll for it, and you don't get just the D4. You don't just get the D6 of bacon. You don't just get the D8 of bacon. You get the D10 of bacon.
Ooh.
And he made 10 tasty bacons.
Crap.
Awesome.
So your inventory is only going to have 10 tasty bacon in the group party inventory.
All right. So we are. I think we are prepared for. Prepared for the smugglers. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, if all else fails, you can use the tasty bacon as bribes. I don't know.
Do we think Sanbalay was the one who went out to the smuggler ship?
We weren't sure
Well-
if he had.
Well, let's
Oh, wait.
flashback.
Rocky is here. We could ask Rocky who went out to the smuggler ship.
Oh, well, smugglers. Sambley never went out to the ship. He was usually up with the lantern.
So was it just like anyone who went out with the jolly boat, or?
Yeah, their designated crews would go to and fro with cargo.
Designated crews. So.
Well, I mean,
who?
there were times I did it. We would just basically, get in the boat when a boss told us to, and take a load in a jolly boat to the ship, and help unload it, and then we'd go back. And when we came to the ship, there was always another boat coming from the ship that we'd like pass it halfway.
So did Ray Bob ever do it?
Well, yeah, Ray Bob did it. Tito did. Crawford did.
No,
Jeff Perkins did it.
No, I just needed to know who to pretend to be.
Oh yeah, well yeah, pretty much anybody you might have like run into here. They traveled to that ship at least once.
Okay, that'll work.
Sambalay didn't go very often though. No. He was a signal. He did whatever that was. Then he yelled down at us to go.
Well, that's easy.
What, Did he
Okay.
just say that they'd send a ship to the house while the house sent a ship back to the ship? Did that make sense?
That's what I heard.
So we could end up with. So if we go to the ship, they could also send some people back to the house, which will then be empty.
Unless only one of us goes
But he said that
to
you
the
do
boat.
pass them.
But we don't want smugglers. Like if all of us go on the boat to the ship, we don't want smugglers then just running around the house.
Noticing how clean it is since Rocky's been, sweeping up.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the large pile of corpses in a pit.
Well, you don't have a pile of corpses anymore
No,
What
they turned
happened?
into skeletons.
because
in
they all
the
turn into skeletons and
Well, yeah, but then all the skeletons got smashed up, and
yeah, but then you piled dirt on top of that.
okay.
I mean,
the lack of smugglers in
Kymir
the house
basically
might
punched most of those, like at least 80% of the skeletons into dust.
be- It's
Okay.
fine
Well,
if that one.
He buffied them.
so but do we? I guess we'll figure it out when the boat gets here, huh?
Can we set up a trap or something for him, like in the lower cavern? Do we have any? I'm thinking that, but I don't have anything useful that might be used for that.
Well, right now we have two boats in the. Is there even space for them to land?
Well, if we go out in one, they'll have room.
But then we still have, the smugglers running loose in our place.
Are you talking about the caves?
Yeah, the cave
Oh,
where there's the
I left a
pirate
tentacle
jolly
up.
boat.
There's
When it
Toby's
was the
still in the
pirate jolly boat up,
caves.
and wow. Yeah, but there's the pirate jolly boat, and then there's our fancy one right next to it.
He's just down there tootling around.
Yeah, so there's space for those two jolly boats. Assuming, well, here's the thing. This is the day you're planning. So you have your own personal fancy jolly boat that is method powered to take care of or
Oh,
use.
wait. Hold on. I know what I'll do. I'll go to our fancy method powered one, and pull up on the lever and turn the knob to method power one, and then float it because it doesn't require water. So we'll just float it in like a skiff, into the side.
Onto the land.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you could totally
like
like fly it into the caves. Is that what
that's
you're
what I
talking
mean.
about?
Yeah. I'm trying to find the map here.
Yeah.
Up. Hold on. Because which one is it called? Haunted Mansion Caves.
That's the one.
Yes. I will make sure. I will remove Toby since he's not really present for this phase of the operations.
Oh, bye, Toby.
Bye, Toby. No wonder he's underperforming. He's just slacking down here.
So, well, yeah, we'll just take our jolly boat and slide it up over to where I left that pointer there.
No. I think we need to
Oh,
stick
wait.
it where these were.
Stick it where what?
Where the oozes were over here.
Okay, where the slimes were clinging to the top of the cavern.
Because
Yeah, because they're gonna. You're right, because they're gonna load the cargo where I had first put it.
Tight cornering in there.
It's fine. I can drive these things.
grunt.
So now there's only the jolly boat that belonged to the smugglers that was parked here when you snuck in. Rocky offers up another piece of information. He was talking about how San Belay is usually handling the Hooded Lantern signaling to the smuggler ship. And he said he would stay up there and he would continue to signal throughout the operations periodically. He remembers seeing the lights periodically shine from the house even when they were sailing back and forth.
he did have that illusion set up. That programmed illusion.
Yes. There was
But
that illusion set up when the white was Sanbalay in his white form was trying to lure you into that room to ambush you. And you observed the illusion walk across the room and hold up a lantern signaling at the window.
okay, so we need someone to signal, and so who's gonna signal?
Can we get Rocky to do it?
Oh, that's a good idea. Rocky, do you remember how to signal?
Well,
The way Sanbalay did?
I never signaled before. I mean, I didn't see him do it person, but I know how to use a hooded lantern.
If we can show you this the signal the signal sheet, and can you
Well, what do all
keep
these
signaling
dashes
back?
and X's mean?
Those are long and short knocks.
How do you knock with a lantern?
Well, blinking basically. Short blink, long blink.
Which one's the short blink and which one's the long blink?
X is the short blink.
Okay, so the first one is a long blink, then a short blink, then a short blink, then a short blink.
Yes.
Well, that's what they're gonna signal to you, and then
So
you
I
signal
wait.
back.
I wait until I see a long blink and then a short blink, then a short blink, then a short blink. And that's them like saying, "Hey, we're here."
Right, and then you do the second one.
What's the second one?
I don't have the sheet up on me anymore. Um,
I do somewhat.
It's a short blink, a long blink, a short blink, a long blink.
Okay, and what I do that just to respond back when they signal at me.
Yes.
Do I need to do anything else?
They will then signal back
The long.
three long blinks.
And what does that mean?
They're on the way. I think. Is that what we said?
I have no idea.
Yeah, she only told us half an hour ago, and I've forgotten already.
Yeah, they're
I gotta take mercy because Kymir figured this out.
God.
That's what the ship signals when they're ready to unload and they're inviting you to come to the ship.
Right.
Okay. So you've given Rocky this enormous responsibility.
now, so when they send the boat into us, are we just gonna wait until they land and then ambush them?
I don't know. Will they find that suspicious because we haven't sent one out to them?
So who do we want to send out on their own to the boat while everyone else does the ambush?
if it goes tits up, I can jump overboard. I think I've got the best
But
getaway.
you won't be able to look like a smuggler, though, will you?
I could be a really dead one.
So why do I have a feeling I just painted myself as a volunteer to go alone to the pirate boat?
No, they'd be used to Sambalay and his weird stuff, wouldn't
And we still got them cloaks that we borrowed off Anders.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we could give one of them to Kereithlana.
So
Okay.
they can't see that it's a sea elf approaching.
Mm.
Well,
So,
I guess.
am I interpreting this
I guess
correctly?
here we go.
So, okay, so your plan is Rocky is positioned up at the second floor window. He's on the lookout for signals. And he's going to do his little flashy symbols and then yell down to you when he sees it.
Pretty much.
Yes.
And Chef Perkins is just, I don't know, he's
baconing.
He's making bacon.
He's making bacon. More bacon? Even more bacon? I mean, do you have any like dinner, like posts, ship destruction requests for dinner?
No, you could cook a chicken or an egg or
Nobody
something.
touches my chickens. Just saying.
I don't know. I kind of like some of that squid with the waffles. That was
Okay.
pretty good.
So he'll do some more of the Saltmarsh fried squid with waffles and the spicy syrup.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Just hanging out in the kitchen.
And then when the ship gets here, they send a boat in towards us, and we wrap Kereithlana up in a cloak and send her on her way back, and then we wait and slaughter the
She's
pirates
gonna go
that come in.
single floaties in the jolly boat towards the ship, so they don't get suspicious of no jolly boat approaching. You're waiting for the other ship to come toward you. You're going to kill them all.
I think that's the plan.
And it's all going to be successful from then on. That's the total plan.
Oh no,
But what
no.
we're gonna do when we get to the ship, because that was the thing, wasn't it? Oh, so hang on. What we're gonna do to smugglers when they come in at the cave? I'm assuming we're gonna kill them, and then what we're gonna do to them?
Well, the person who was going to disable the ship ran off back to his tribe, so that's a thing.
We could borrow cannon from Anders.
I'm not
gonna
really
do
wants
it.
the cannon.
You just strap the cannon to your jelly boat.
Yeah.
I
Immediately
can see no
sinks.
drawbacks with this. It's going to be
Oh,
fine.
you broke the DM again.
Surely nothing is going to go poorly with this plan.
No. All right, so maybe we take out the guys who come to the caverns first, and then decide what to do about the ship. Because do we care about the ship? Do we want to keep it?
I don't know if we want to keep it, but we definitely don't want.
So could we go with one of Jos Desi's other plans, which was to fill its stuff with flammable things? Kereithlana ties it to the main ship, sets it alight, and swims back to us. Ship go boom.
Do we have any powder? 6 powder kegs and a torch?
We've got
We've got kegs of brandy. That's flammable, isn't it? We still got the brandy?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I told you there was any gunpowder in the lizard folk supplies were.
No,
I think the lizard folk all had like spears and tridents and ranged weapons.
It was silks, brandies, and mundane weapons, is what we were told. Oh, and a couple pack things of glitter. Wait, what if is the dragon shard dust? Is that?
Oh yeah, your
does that go
glitter.
boom?
That
Is glitter explosive?
not in its pure form. It's usually harnessed as an energy source for magical things. Like say, do an Arcana check.
I was about to say,
Or history, if one of the two is good.
If we mess with some of that alchemical stuff, maybe we could turn it into an alchemical boom.
It's okay. Didn't we also have some alchemical glue would that be of any use to stick things to the ship?
Oh, there
make
was
it
some kind of
explode?
alchemical stuff, and there might have been some powder that explodes. A little, like a pouch of it. There was some kind of pouch of powder that was in with that stuff too.
2 pouches of alchemical powder. And some poison.
Yeah, the Keelan powder was the poison.
Okay, that was poison.
Yeah.
Kereithlana and Shaefira, roll Arcana or History. Just in case.
Oh,
Wow.
So,
we're
yeah,
consistent.
you're looking at this barrel of glitter and you're like, it's glitter dust, it's magical glitter dust stuff, and you are unequipped to harness this by yourselves. But Shaefira and Kymir, you know that Anders is, he will help you. If you need something, like a barrel of gunpowder, you could certainly go back into town and ask him for it because you have the day to gather your party before venturing forth.
Let's get some gunpowder.
Yeah, it's a good
I think.
idea. Yeah.
So if some of us go back into town and get gunpowder, is it worth like making some little pouches out of the linens down in the cellars to like put it in, or are we just gonna
That's silk in the cellars.
that's silk, whatever?
It'll be a fancy operation.
Yeah. Or I'm just I'm trying to think of the best way to set the damn ship afire, apart from getting the keg on the boat and setting it alight. But obviously we can't do that. So
Well, why
Mytel will
can't
do that.
we? Because we're gonna send Kereithlana on a boat. She can have the barrel with her, and then they could load it onto the boat like it's like they're doing the regular pickup.
we
Make
could
it go
stick it in a
boom, and
we
then
could
go
stick it in a
overboard.
we could stick it in a brandy keg,
Mm.
so they think
Yeah.
it's brandy.
Or just write brandy on the side.
What are you going to do with the brandy that you take out of the keg?
Drink
I
it,
drink
duh.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
his plan is really gonna go.
that sounds like good choices. I have high hopes about this plan.
All right, so yeah, so we could send out some loot with the barrel of gunpowder in the middle of it, but that still means that Kereithlana's going to be out there by herself trying to set it alight and then running away before it goes boom.
Go on. Right, so if you go and get some gunpowder.
Yes, we'll go off to Anders and get some gunpowder, shall we?
Yes,
Some sort of ignition source would be useful as well. See anything in
yes, we
you.
can ask him that as well.
Yeah, I've got
I
an
mean,
incense stick and that's about it.
It would be good to not explode Kereithlana while this whole thing.
Oh
Well,
yeah, I
she's
mean,
gonna be overboard whenever it goes boom.
With the long fuse.
That's assuming I can get it lit in the first place.
I had to be careful it doesn't get wet.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, it doesn't exactly take long to go overboard. You could just drop the lit torch on the barrel and then go over.
Yeah.
It's not an open barrel. I mean, you'll have 6 seconds to dive into the water before it catches the gunpowder.
assuming they don't realize and pull out the fuse.
No, it's not a fuse. I'm talking about like straight on the top of the barrel.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so it has to burn through the wood at the top of the barrel to get to the explosive substance.
Mm.
So Kereithlana might have to choose where she positions this barrel once she's on the ship.
yeah, we don't have any way of lighting it on fire remotely, do we? Right.
No, unless you can think of some a way of doing it alchemically.
Shaefira just got magic tricks. Does she have firebolt?
I do have firebolt, but I don't know what the range is on it.
120 feet.
That
That's
might do
quite a
it.
distance.
So I
That's
could
gonna
try,
be far
but
enough.
that means we're relying on a roll potentially that could go drastically wrong. But I could give it a
This whole
bash.
thing can go drastically wrong at any point in time.
What then? Are we saying that Shaefira goes out with Kereithlana?
Or just oh, because Shaefira. I don't think. Oh.
Shaefira's got. Haven't you got a disguised self?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
she
then
could
you
make
could
it
look
look.
at like.
Yeah, she could look like one of the smugglers because she did that when we went into town.
Yeah, that's a lot better. I like that plan a lot better because either you or I was going to use Mask of Many Faces. We could look like a smuggler, one of the approved smugglers. Then that's a lot better than random new person.
So I'm going to be the one in the ship and the swimming back and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're going to do that, then I'm going to let you borrow my armor because it gives you a swim speed.
Oh, you don't think it like make me sink?
Oh, it's leather.
Oh, right, leather.
It's mariner's leather armor. It's
Yeah.
specifically designed for swimming and shipboard stuff.
It's like magic. It's magically delicious to give you the powers of swimming.
Okie doke.
So yeah, I will let her borrow that, and that does. I mean, it's not going to do anything to my AC anyway. I'd like it back when we're done, though.
Okay. I'll try not to blow up in
Die.
it.
Right. So should we hustle off into town to get boom powder?
Yes.
All right, I put the mariner's leather armor in the party sheet, and I no longer have a swim speed. So yeah, let's get some boom powder and make this plan that can totally not go horribly wrong in any way, shape, or form a thing.
Okay, so when you head into
Bye.
town, are you going to take any precautions to be sneaky, or you going to just, balls out, we're in town now, yo?
Well, do we think it's too late for anyone to warn the ship? Because that's what we were bothered about before, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, here's my thought on that is if someone could warn the ship, then they wouldn't need the lights at all. They would just know. I mean, so I don't think anyone in town will be able to warn the ship because they haven't come in yet. How would they warn them?
Okay. Then maybe just go with the cloaks and hood up, but not try and unless you want to cast disguise again. But
No, I don't know.
No, disguise will use a spell slot. We want to save those for if things go south.
right, yeah, fair enough. Good point. So yeah, we'll just cloaks,
And
hood up.
does Shaefira have a mundane disguise kit? Or does anyone else have a disguise kit?
No, not me.
No.
Okay. Carry on.
Okay, so everyone is going into town.
I was going to shuffle about in the caves and make them look as if they're still in active use by smugglers.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Maybe shift some of the cargo that you confiscated so it looks like it's been actually, moved out of the ship and sold on the black market.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to that corpse I nailed to the crate?
Oh, that became like a skeleton.
But was it still nailed to the crate?
No, yeah. The bones, what you nailed, there are
Was
nails in a
flesh.
crate, but what you nailed kind of dissipated.
Yeah, it was flesh. Okay. So maybe just take the pitons out then.
I'll sort that out, don't worry. You can have your pittance back.
So Kereithlana is staying behind getting sloshy with all the brandy barrels. the other three of you are headed into town. Where are you headed?
I guess we're gonna go try and find Anders.
Yeah.
What's your first destination?
Well, will he be at the town hall, or
It's a
we could we could go to his house first and try and catch that butler out? Because I bet he's up to no good if he's not there.
Oh,
could.
I was only messing. We could go find Anders first.
No. I'm just concerned we'll end up getting distracted trying to save Anders, and no, it's too much stuff to do.
Okay,
Let's-
so you are in town. You are approaching the bridge. The bridge. I'm getting to see why Kereithlana doesn't go into town, because that bridge is the one that makes her all sick and icky and icky and sad in the stomach. She's just. It seems like she just has some kind of anxiety about going into town. Maybe it's the bridge. So you're approaching the bridge. Everybody do a stealth roll.
well, I put in chat that Steve's disguised up as Barry.
Yep, but do one anyhow.
Oh yeah, that's the T.
So, as you're coming up on the bridge, you see, well, what do you see but Barry the tomato vendor?
This is awkward.
He's in the green market, which is just by the bridge, and he spots Stiiv, and he's got like a tomato in one hand, and he's pointing with the other, and he looks really confused, and he looks down at himself, and he looks up at Stiiv, and he looks around at everybody else, and he starts calling, "Hey, do you see me standing over there?" And
Is there
people,
anyone else around? Or is it just us?
yeah, like all the people in the market who are buying stuff from his tomato stand, they all turn and look in Steve's direction at this second Barry the tomato vendor. And you start to hear the sounds of like people talking, and like they're all like, "What is going on here? You're Barry. Who's that Barry?"
Okay, so here's the question. Do we go with having been made and panic, or do we confront it head on, full bore, and own it?
On it.
Own it? All right. I will point back at Barry, pointing back at me, and in Barry's voice say, "He stole my tomatoes!"
Awesome.
I'm
Everybody,
assuming that's a deception roll.
yeah, you can roll deception roll. And everybody, woo! And everybody can also roll perception checks.
I've been rolling crap all day.
It was worth it just for that. Oh,
What a thing to roll. Good on.
deception.
Kymir, you see Tito and Crawford walking your way across the bridge, and they spot you. And they spot Barry the tomato vendor, and they call out, and they're like, "Hey, it's Barry the tomato vendor!" And then they point back over at the real Barry the tomato vendor, and they're like, "Who's that guy?"
Oh my
Covertly give a
god.
little thumbs up to them.
And you see, like, the people who were congregated around Barry the tomato vendor's booth buying their tomatoes, and they're so convinced by your declaration, Stiiv, that they're like, you see them start to shove the real Barry the tomato vendor around, and you see like one urchin kind of grab an armful of tomatoes and go running off and across the bridge.
Oh god. What have we done? So is it safe to say that most of the attention is on real Barry? at this
Yeah,
point?
at this point, the people who are originally drawn to you, other than Tito and Crawford, they're focused on. Well, pretty much everybody's focused on the other berry now. The berry they think is the fake berry.
Does there happen to be an alley nearby, or
It's kind of open where you are right now, just south of the bridge. I say that I haven't shared the map again. You guys had a Saltmarshy map.
I should clarify the inquiry. Basically, the intent is someplace where I could have a brief enough period of cover that I can misty step there and
Well, yeah,
change
okay.
appearance.
I take everything back that I said. There is space. Let me share this map again. And I'm going to draw a little. That's kind of where this is taking place.
What? Right at the okay.
So in that space, that is where all of this action is happening.
So there's like that little behind one of the
So,
buildings.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, while the attention is off me, Bamf behind one of the buildings, and then Mask of Many Faces to
Yeah.
someone else. Let's see, alter egos. Ray Bob the Smuggler. Foomp. And then come back around the corner.
Do another stealth check.
Let's see here. Oh God, don't fail me now. Oh. It started so well.
I rolled for Crawford and Tito's perception. I rolled a 1 and a 20.
Well, I don't care if Crawford and Tito see me. They know
Crawford
I
has
can do
wandered
this.
off. Yeah. Crawford has wandered off towards the real Barry the tomato vendor, and he's like, giving him what for. But Tito's there. And he's like, "Hey, Rhubarb! I thought you were dead."
I'll just put my hands up to my lips and shh. A lot of people thought I was dead.
Wow. I think Rocky was looking for you. Are you working for these? He looks around at Shaefira and Kymir. Are you working for these guys now? Is it safe? Do you need help?
No, we're good. We're good. Thank you.
Okay. And he looks at you okay, roll a deception check. He looks at you, trying to search to make sure that you're with Kymir and Shaefira willingly.
Do the blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh no, dude.
And he's like, okay. I'll get our buddies together. We'll get you out.
That's
Rocky 2! Rocky 2! And we haven't seen Chef Perkins for weeks! And he kind of backs away, trying to look cool. Like acting like he doesn't suspect anything is amiss. And you see him kind of shuffle back across the bridge away from you guys.
I'll just be going back to the house now.
Asses.
Okay.
You guys got the gunpowder sorted, right?
Oh dear. He might as well come with us.
Where are you headed next?
You guys go get the gunpowder. I'll go back to the house.
Shaefira, Kymir, and badly Ray-bobbed.
We're going to find Anders, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're going to try his house.
Or is it the middle? Yeah.
Do we think he'll be?
It's during the day.
Yeah.
Now, the previous times you have encountered, you've run across Anders, he was at the town hall.
We should go there.
All right, town hall.
We brought his cart with us, didn't we?
Yeah, you got his cart. Sure.
Yeah, we did.
So you go to the town hall. Triva de Moria is at her desk as usual. And she's oh, hello, Shaefira. Hello, Kymir. How is the haunted house?
It's still there.
And then she looks over at Ray Bob and she's like, "Oh, I didn't think you were friends with them. How you doing, Ray Bob?"
Oh no, he went back to the house.
Oh, you went back to the house?
I straight went back to the house. I gotta warn Kereithlana, we got people coming in.
I didn't realize. Okay, I didn't realize you were
Yeah, I
so.
was dead serious with that. No, like you guys go get the gunpowder.
Oh my god! I thought you
We're
were
going back to
totally
the house.
joking. Okay.
No, it's straight going back to the house. That did not go well.
So Trivet says hi to Shaefira and Kymir. She's like, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, we were wondering if we could just have a quick word with Councilman Anders.
Oh yeah, he's totally in. Is this secret stuff?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I will like I'll check and see if the coast is clear. Make sure nobody else is around in the building. Normally they aren't unless it's Ava Ovland. Sometimes she's in her office, but like Gellin Primewater, he usually just comes here and naps in his office. But you're gonna have to pass his office to get to Anders.
Okay.
And so she sneaks off ahead across. And you see her stop by a door on her left, and she's kind of listening. And then she motions to you guys to move forward. And then she steps forward a little bit more, and she listens at another door on her right. And you see her nod, and she motions for you to come forward some more. All the way to Anders' door.
Okay.
Oh, let me share that map again. Because you is on it.
Whoops.
Shaefira's
Sorry.
disappeared.
I was scrolling the map at the exact second Shaefira was moving, so I just grabbed her mid-move. I did not know
Oh, I
you
just
could do
noticed
that.
a door is missing on my map. But Trivet, check that door too. And she knocks on the door really lightly, short, long, and peeks her head in, and she's like, "Anders, you have visitors." And then she goes back to her desk.
Okay.
Anders' face brightens when you walk into the room. He looks very excited. "Hello, Shaefira? Kymir? How can I help you?"
Hi. Last time we came into town, you said that if there was anything we needed, you would try and help.
"Certainly."
We was wondering if you had any gunpowder.
"Ooh, gunpowder? You're gonna blow something up. Are you gonna blow up the smuggler's ship?
We're gonna try.
Oh, you're gonna need a lot of gunpowder for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, in the warehouse at my house, I got a whole bunch of gunpowder just for this kind of occasion. 'Cause you gotta have something to fire the cannons.
Mm-hmm. What's the range on your cannons, by the way?
DM,
I can.
query.
Are we seriously about to just roll
It's-
through town with a cannon just on a
It's
cart?
curiosity.
600 feet is the near range, and it can go up to 2,400, but that's at disadvantage.
Okay.
That's what Ender Tholmar tells you. 600 is the
Okay.
maximum precise distance.
Right. Well, it's something we can still keep in mind, isn't it?
Well, you
Makes
can
a
borrow a
good point.
cannon just in case you need it.
Hmm.
I don't mind.
Let's go back to yours and get the gunpowder.
Okay.
And then we'll
Anders
think-
pulls out another sneaky cloak. It billows. And he proceeds to like stealthily move out of the town hall along with you guys. You head back out of the streets. You don't cross the bridge. Instead you pass the snapping line and head a little bit north to his large estate, which you remember. He has to go through that whole rigmarole again about, telling the guards, it's me. It's really me. It's Andres. No need to kick us out. And you get to the house. But rather than going inside where Scarin the butler lurks, he leads you around the main house to one of the outbuildings. There's a large square building with a very large door that he unlocks. There's a padlock on it. Did I cut out?
Yeah.
There's a large outbuilding with a rectangular door, a very, very large rectangular door. It's padlocked, secure, and you see Anders pull a key out of his pocket. It's basically a ring of keys. He unlocks this padlock, and then he rolls up this double wide door. And inside this outbuilding that's kind of like a moderately sized warehouse, you see this treasure trove of stockpiled potential war machines.
Oh my god.
So you got the cannons, there's a little baby ballista, there's barrels and barrels of gunpowder off to one corner, but there's like a nice perimeter, kind of like a safety distance. And there's also a very large barrel of water stockpiled as well.
Did anyone else notice that she said cannons, plural?
Yes. It was the war machines that got me.
There's some large pieces of wood that you think would be used to like kind of knock in a barricade.
Ooh.
So whenever the riots happen, we're coming here.
Yeah, you see some stockpiles of food. Just rations. Nothing fancy.
He's a prepper in it, this guy.
Just in case. There's some mundane weapons and armor as well. There's nets. There's a lot of things that seem like that he's preparing, for defense or attacking.
Should we be concerned about him?
Everybody do an insight check. Or the two of you do an insight check. Kymir, you figured this has something to do with the pirate problem that Saltmarsh has. They're constantly being raided by pirates. It's one of the things that you were sent here by the Monastery of the Broken Code to assist Saltmarsh with. So you figure that that Anders has stockpiled all these weapons and stuff in case the pirates ever launch a really outlandish siege on the city, so that he can help aid in the town's defense.
Okay.
So you've got your cart, and Anders starts trying to load barrels of gunpowder onto your cart, but he's struggling. So you guys have to help him.
Yeah, naturally, yeah.
Stand there and let him do it all.
Stand
Are
and
you-
laugh at him struggling.
You're just gonna stand there and laugh?
Yeah. No.
No.
We'll help.
Step over and help.
You help, and Anders does his best to like pull his own weight, And you can tell when you guys heft one of these heavy barrels of gunpowder over to the cart that he feels really pleased with himself that he's helping.
He might be stronger than Kymir and Shaefira.
I don't
I was
Yeah.
just looking through our stats and
Yeah,
oh,
I mean, my
oh
strength
dear.
is even worse than maybe 3 of us put together would be all right.
And who?
Oh
Why
yeah. Oh
why
wow.
is Stiiv the smart one?
You're all equally strong. Okay. So it takes at least 2 of you to move one of these barrels. How many do you want to take?
You reckon 2?
I'd say 3, just to make a big
How
boom.
big are
There's
the,
up to
I mean,
4.
How big are the actual barrels? I mean, are we talking like full on, like big water barrels, or are we talking like small brandy kegs?
They're
type
big
size?
uns. Each one's at least 100 pounds of gunpowder.
I'm just thinking if we've got to get them onto the ship. It's going to look suspicious. That size barrel, surely.
Well,
Oh, well, you know that the stuff, your brandy kegs come in multiple sizes. There's
Okay.
the wee kegs for the really, really fancy stuff. And then there's the larger vats.
for grog, is it like?
It's not quite it doesn't have as much age on it, but it's still valuable nonetheless.
Right.
So we can just paint brandy on the side of these kegs.
Okay. I don't want to leave
Can't we?
Anders short though of supplies.
So what? He's only got 4. Did you say?
Yeah, Anders, how quickly can you replenish your stock if we take 3 of these?
Well, they don't make gunpowder here, so it'll probably take me about a month, but I can get more easily.
All I'm bothered about is if we blow up the smuggler's ship, is that going to set off repercussions with the pirates? Could we potentially trigger off an attack on the town?
Mm. But he's still got a big barrel of gunpowder left for his cannons, hasn't
He's got 100 pounds of gunpowder.
he? It's plenty.
I don't know. I don't know what the firing requirements are for cannons. So
Your DM
Not
doesn't
much.
either.
no. Should we
It doesn't
split the
take
difference and just
much.
take No.
Yeah, no, okay, screw it. Yeah, we'll take 2.
All right. We'll split the difference. We'll take 2.
Okay.
And we
So
could
you-
always put a keg of brandy on there as well, just to make it interesting.
Well, make it smell nice when the ship blows up.
So you're taking 200 pounds of gunpowder.
Yeah. It's going to be fun getting that cart back. I don't think we're going to manage a cannon as well.
No, we can always come back for a cannon if we really feel like it, can't we? Or send a runner to Anders to bring one.
You don't think they would notice the addition of a cannon?
Well, if it's a 600-foot range, could we not
Could leave
put
it
it
on
on
the.
the cliff
Yeah.
facing out to sea and shoot it from there? We don't have to put it on the jolly boat.
Yeah, we're gonna fire a cannon from the jolly boat.
No, I
No,
know
no,
that's
no.
the but
She's
no.
talking about putting battlements on the cliffside and
Yeah.
shooting from the cliff.
Well, that's what I mean. Is you don't think they would notice the addition of a battlement?
I don't know. Would they? Could we pile some rocks to kind of hide it, or
Well, like
camouflage it in some way? Or you've
I
got
can
Well-
do
illusion thing.
silent image. I can make it look like some. Put something in front of it or something.
That's true.
Some kind of illusionary camouflage in front.
Yeah. Is it a concentration spell though?
Yes.
Right. So as soon as you lose concentration, it goes, doesn't it?
Apparently, I need a bit of fleece.
Please.
That's
Fleece.
fine.
Fleece.
Unless it's something that's listed as having a monetary amount. I'm just assuming that you have any materials needed to cast a spell.
Okay.
Okay.
And if, as you're in town, you could drop the cash for a component pouch and then make that officially a thing. I think it's only like 20 gold or something.
Yeah.
That's true.
You can just
But-
pick that up. Yes, on your way out of town, or I mean,
All right. So what
maybe
do you
Anders has one.
we could get Anders to send someone up with the cannon. Do we think that's a viable option to as a backup for
I can
firing at the
send
ship?
some of my guards over with the cannon in a wagon,
and ammunition as well.
a covered wagon.
An additional.
How many cannonballs do you think you need?
What do you reckon? 5?
Six.
You just had to go one more, didn't you?
Anders nods. He's like, 6 is a good round number. Like he knows all about firing cannons.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll have them use the covered wagon so that nobody can see what is coming to the house.
That's a really good idea.
Okay, they'll be there in about 2 hours.
Okay. What time are we looking at now then?
Let's say by the time the cannons get there, it's about 3 p.m.
And what time do we think the ship will come in? Evening?
Well, after the sun sets.
After dark, right. Yes, in that case, yeah, that would be wonderful. Councilman, that's a big help, thank you. I guess I was just going to lean in and say, are you okay? Because you were a bit battered last time we saw you.
Oh, I'm fine. Hey.
No more falls down the stairs?
Oh, no. No more falls. I did feel kind of bad after dinner the other night, though. But I think that's just nerves. I've been trying to talk to Trivet.
All right.
And he kind of like makes his face like he's trying to indicating he's trying to chat her up. I'm not having any success. And he looks over at Kymir and he's like, Do you have any tips for picking up ladies? Romancing them? And then he looks over at Shaefira. What do you like in a guy, you know? Like, what would convince you to like? You know, talk to somebody and spend time with them and not laugh at them?
I'm going to look at him and say, honestly, I haven't spent a lot of time with women. I was closeted away in a monastery for most of my life.
I haven't either. I'm kind of like living in my mom's house of just like that.
That sounds very, very similar, yeah. I take it you don't still live with your mum?
Well, she died 2 years
sorry.
ago. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you just need to be a bit more confident around her and maybe not sort of be too forward. Just be a friend.
Or you could spend time. She's quite intrigued by the ghostly happenings up at the haunted house, so you could strike up a conversation about that.
Spooky stuff.
She likes spooky
Trivet
stuff.
does like spooky stuff. Maybe I need to. Oh, I could hold a seance at my house. Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Thank you so much. I've been getting advice from Esteban Urkel, the most interesting man in Saltmarsh.
Oh, yeah.
But it hasn't really been working well. I don't understand it.
Right.
Try the spooky stuff. I think you'll get on with that.
Good. Well, good luck with the smuggler ship. And
Thank you.
I'll send you an invitation to my seance.
We would love that.
Okay.
If anything goes really wrong and we can be there to punch it.
So Anders salutes you because he's like super excited about all these plans that are happening. And he sees you off, and you kind of see him go off closer to his house, and he starts to talk to the guards as you wheel your cart of gunpowder barrels out of the enclave of his home. You head south. Shaefira picks up her components pouch, all her little bits and knickknacks for casting spells. And you head back to your house, Shay Haunted. You're all back together, reunited. It feels so good.
Hi guys, we missed you.
A couple hours pass, and a covered wagon rolls down the cliffside road. There are two very burly guards driving it. And as they pull up in front of your house, another guy jumps out of the back, and he makes this kind of makeshift ramp in the back of the wagon, and they roll a cannon down and ask where you want it.
Right. Hang on, I'm just getting the map up. Right, so north is that way, which according to the
North is east.
seller's map, yeah. So I'm just matching that up with where our jolly boat is currently on the caves map is northeast.
Yeah, like very northeast. Okay, the haunted house map.
So I'm just thinking that looks like a tree, doesn't it? And there's a couple of rocks there, so we could put it
Yeah.
maybe next to that, and then you could do your illusion.
How long does minor illusion last?
Oh, Justice is up front. That's just illusion. He's not there.
I think it says 10 minutes.
Yeah, silent damage is 10 minutes. Okay. And it's a spell slot, so we don't want to burn it early.
No.
Because we'll need that for Disguise Self. Which, oh, and Disguise Self is that concentration? I don't remember.
So
I don't think that
doesn't
is.
No, it
say.
is not. It is not concentration. So you could have both of them up at the same time.
okay, so what about if we hid it sort of between the tree and the rock? And I don't want to block access, you know.
We'd still be able to get the pointy bit through that.
You mean the
Pointy
barrel?
bit.
The barrel, yeah.
Barrel.
That's it, yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm trying to make your cannon look nice and fancy.
No, Shaefira's gonna be very upset
Improvising.
that she can't fire it.
I can. I've got a ladder.
You're
I'll
going to
be
be
able
on the
to
boat
reach
out
it.
to the ship.
Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, damn it. No. Oh.
Roll a insight or anything.
Roll a something.
Actually, I'm not going to make you roll for this. You have figured out because of everybody's, well, at least you guys, your relative strengths and how hard it was to move the barrels. You have figured out that it's going to take two people to aim if you need to adjust which direction the cannon is pointing and to load and fire a cannon.
So maybe we worry about that if the plan with Shaefira doesn't set the ship on fire, or they start sailing into us and we just run up.
You can just cannon the ship.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe if we can get up there.
Yeah,
quick
have it as a backup, yeah.
Because it does go up to, I mean, 600 feet is pretty close, but the full range is half a mile away at disadvantage.
So we could tell Rocky to go to the cannon with Chef Perkins after the signalling's finished, if we trust them to do it. I'm assuming we do since we're trusting them with the light, so...
And Chef Perkins can certainly help if you want to keep Rocky on the lights. He can help somebody else.
Again, I'm just thinking back up if the thing doesn't light for whatever reason, we've got something to shoot at.
I've added a cannon to the combat tracker.
Ooh.
Now, where did you want the cannon? I put it near the rocks and trees. Okay, good. You can adjust it accordingly.
Which map is this on?
The Haunted Mansion.
I do not see.
You are actually on it right now, so click
there.
yourself.
Okay. No, I was looking at the wrong spot. Okay, that's where it is. I thought it was over by the well for some reason. It's wheeled, right? And that's a
Yeah,
road.
there are wheels.
So, could we not just have it up against the side of the house and then wheel it into position so it's out of sight? Then you could do your silent image over the spot and then wheel the cannon into the silent image.
I'm worried about the silent image taking up a spell slot.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. And I can't do that too. Oh, also, after I'm assuming, since Stiiv went back to the house to warn Kereithlana that we might have friends coming by, that at least an hour has passed, so we could take a short rest before Shaefira and Kymir returned.
Short rest? Absolutely.
Yeah, just hang out while waiting for the other two.
Yeah,
I just want
because Kereithlana's been doing that, that weight training, moving the brandy barrels. She needs a little bit of recovery time.
She's been lifting mustard for way longer.
Man, I have no idea how much a cannon weighs, but I figure it's a large amount. That even though this is on the wheels, it's going to take at least 20 total strength to move it.
According to a quick Google search, cannons that fired a 32-pound solid shot could weigh up to 3,400 pounds.
We are not going to say it weighs that much because it is on wheels.
Well, here's a 12-pound cannon. 12-pound cannon was only 1,200 pounds.
Okay. Still, it's on wheels. So we're saying that that's going to reduce the work you have to do to actually move it. And even though I'm not coming up with physics calculations right now, I think it's fair.
Yeah, it's like about the same weight as a small trailer, a two-wheel trailer, which, two people can very easily pick up the tongue and move around with a little pushy. May not be quick, but...
Yeah, like somebody with 10 strength can push up to 300 pounds. Let's see if Chef Perkins has more strength than you guys.
Probably.
It's a smaller cannon.
Not really. Barely.
Oh dear.
Barely. Rocky is, however, much stronger than you guys. Well, not that much. He's significantly stronger than like Shaefira and Kymir, but he's not like muscles.
Ultimate last resort, then.
It's the elf blood. But yeah, you guys, I'm just gonna stick with that. Two people can move it on the wheels, or you can retain. You can keep some of the guards that Anders sent over, and just send the third one back. With the message: "Is it okay if we borrow you?"
I like that plan. Then we can have them shoot the cannon.
Yeah, we could do that.
And they'll probably know better how to fire it as well.
Given that I'm pretty sure all four of us are utterly clueless. I mean, we're like, okay, you put some gunpowder in there and then a ball.
I'd give it a good go.
So, well, like, they'll aim it for you, and then you can, like, light the fuse. So you can actually shoot it.
It sounds like a plan, but I'll be on a boat.
Make the cannonball go wee! Okay, so you send one of the guards back with the empty wagon with like to ask Anders, hey, is it cool if the other guards stay? And then after a while, he like rides back on a horse, and he tells the other two, that you guys are stay here, follow their orders, and then when this operation is done, come back to the estate. So you have 2 guard dudes.
Cool.
Surely nothing bad is going to happen.
We can use them as bait if need be.
What color are their shirts?
Oh, they're red. Why do you ask?
What a
Just-
surprise!
Yeah, of course it's red.
All right, there we go. So we've got 2 guards on the cannon, and we instruct them to fire at the ship once they see Shaefira either jump off or sail back, or start to sail back.
I won't be sailing back, would I? I thought I would just running the little ship in with the gunpowder kegs and setting them on
We're
fire.
going to try and get them
while
on the
it's
ship. We're
next
going to get them to load them onto the ship.
Are we?
Yeah, but once
Oh,
once
right.
once it's lit, though, you don't want to have you don't want to try and move the jolly boat back. So that's what the whole point with the mariner's armor was, is just basically go in the water and straight down.
So I am moving your cannon. I'm going to remove all of the mask from your house map. Because y'all's explored this. They kind of move the cannon into what's kind of your walled garden where the badgers live.
Find the chickens.
Got your chickens out there.
Oh, is that what they are?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were dogs in blankets or something.
Or rouses.
Bog demons.
I've
And
put
the
my
G's
theory.
are your guards. They're with the cannon and the cannonballs.
Right, they're not going to be shooting through the house, are they?
No, they're going to, when it's time, when you order them to, they're going to roll it back out to the position in front of the house for aiming and firing.
Okay.
So they are here to follow your instructions. They're just muscular shimps. The sunset is approaching.
All right.
All right, Rocky, get upstairs with that lantern. Oh, should I put the lantern in the party thing?
We'll assume that Rocky's upstairs with the lantern. I put him in position.
Okay. And I guess we should all get down to the caverns.
Get down to the caverns and load up the jolly boat with the gunpowder and get ready.
So I presume that we're using Chef Perkins as a relay between Rocky on the lamp and us downstairs. Otherwise, we're not going to have a clue.
Chef Perkins is in the kitchen. Rocky can
Good
call
point.
down to Chef Perkins. He'll hear him. And then Chef Perkins can run down to the scullery stairs, and yell down in the wine cellar.
Right, who's got the fastest
I can-
speed? Mine's
Better.
40.
I have message.
Ooh.
Top banana.
So Perkins can
what's-
yell down to the wine cellar
what's the
and
distance?
then 120 feet.
Okay. So you can yell at him. You can hang out within ear distance of the wine cellar. So I'm thinking you could probably. Oh, I don't have the cellar map up.
Yeah. So basically, Rocky yells down to Perkins in the wine cellar with the door open. Then Perkins yells out into the caverns, and then I can message everyone at the boat, and then haul butt to get there. Because nothing goes badly when you play telephone.
You know, we should have rigged up the magic mouths.
We kind of destroyed them.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we? Okay, never mind.
So if you're hanging out in where the smuggler's sleepover joint was. Smuggler's sleepover. That sounds like a game.
There's a one shot.
What? You can message about halfway through the caverns. So somebody's going to need to kind of be near that tunnel where the oopsie pit was, the mass burial grave, to be able to hear your message.
Well, see, if Perkins is in the sleepy spot, he can yell into the cave.
So he
And I
can
gotta,
run down the scullery stairs through the wine cellar into the sleepy spot.
and then yell.
Yell. You theoretically hear him through the secret door.
Well, we could just leave it open.
Yeah.
Pop it open with the glitter barrel.
That will block sound less. This is not a fire hazard. And somebody needs to just be kind of down the passageway to get your message.
Kind of where the edge of that purple pointer is.
Yeah. Where the T is. Where the joint of the T. And then they can jog back to where the boats are.
Yeah, so someone needs to be posted where that 10-foot circle is.
Well, I stick me there. I think I've got the fastest run speed.
And that's the point when Kereithlana is going to set out in the jolly boat with the fake gunpowder barrels.
No, not Kereithlana, Shaefira.
Shaefira.
With disguise self up and the Mariner's leather armor on.
And a keg of brandy.
And is there any specific disguise you've given these barrels?
We wrote brandy on it in crayon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I put it on my best spelling.
Have you told Rocky or Chef Perkins any of this plan?
Well, I mean, we told them what they're supposed to do.
But you haven't told them what you're doing? Like with the gunpowder or anything like that?
No, I haven't.
No, I'm not sure I would have thought to.
Okay.
So as long as they've not tried to.
All right. The sun has set. Everybody's in position.
Except for Shaefira, who's gone.
Except for Shaefira, who's AFK. Hey, let's take a little teeny break. How much? Or we could pause. I don't think we would play for more than half an hour more.
I think we're good for another half hour, so it's up to you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put our label in Discord.
God. See, elves, they're terrible with spelling.
It's overrated.
All right, quick break then.
Yeah, back in 2 minutes.
All righty.
So, does that pretty much summarize the badness that we're planning on doing? Yeah. It sounds a lot worse when you type it out.
But there's no dice rolls in there. It's going to be absolutely fine.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I should have added a kill Phil in there.
You meet back at the Winchester for a pint and fried squid and waffles.
Yep.
I just need to check one thing.
How's that for a slice of fried squid?
It's an excellent plan. Sorted.
Okay. I just had to check a thing. Okay. It's dark. New moon. There's not a lot of light.
Suddenly I am very nervous.
You're all at your posts. It's unearthly quiet. perhaps because of the tension in the air. All of your patience is strained to the sticking point. Kereithlana, roll a stealth check.
Like we didn't know that was.
Yeah.
Woo!
Even Kereithlana manages to keep it together.
Yes.
No giggles in the silence are heard. No squeaks and clanks of armor. No splashing. An hour passes. 2. You notice that you can smell the brandy in the caves. That's what comes from just standing around in the damp cave air for a couple hours. Another
Sorry,
hour.
I farted.
Yeah.
Did you message that to somebody?
Why not? Just a test message to Kymir. Sorry, I farted.
Dude!
This is a test of the Stiiv broadcast system.
You can reply to this message.
Another hour passes. It's going on midnight when you hear, or Stiiv hears, a clatter down the stairs, and Chef Perkins calls out, "Signal's been passed!"
Message to Kymir. They're here.
Oh, Kymir goes, ah! And runs off. To the
Steve runs
jungle.
towards the boat too.
So I run up to the boat and say, Shaefira, we are go.
Oh shit.
And then I run over and give her a quick hug and say, please be careful.
Thunderbirds are go.
So I'm disguised as a smuggler, yeah?
You're disguised as a smuggler.
Am I being Geordie again?
Yes. You are Geordie. You're rowing by yourself, and you're in one of the normal jolly boats with the 2 barrels that say
Okay.
brandy on the side, or brandy adjacent on the side.
Have we doused a bit of brandy on top of them just to make it smell like brandy?
Sure,
Oh man.
Mm.
you totally can. The wood reeks of brandy. You are rowing single-handedly, which means that you're rowing a little bit slower than a rowboat normally would go.
Yeah, because I have to have like tiny oars, won't I?
There is a small sail, but you're not one of the people in the party who has boat vehicles as a skill.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
So you bob along a little bit slowly. It's been a good 15, 20 minutes of rowing. And you see a large ship come into view. You're about 2/3 of the way towards it. And you see that another ship has lowered, and you pass it. It's filled with 5 people, and you see an assortment of barrels piled in there with them. The boat is heavily laden, heading into shore.
Okay.
You pass by close enough that they can see you, and you notice some funny looks.
Just be cool.
Yeah.
Just be cool.
Just keep
Stay on
moving.
target.
There's at least some staring. They're staring your direction, like there's something about you that they don't completely get.
Okay.
But you see them continue to row on towards the house, and they're moving much faster than you.
I just wave at them. Hi.
It's just me, Jordy.
Yeah.
Back at the house in the caves, Have you adjusted yourselves accordingly? Where are you now?
We're not on the map.
You're not on the map? I'll put you on the map, my pretties. The other one's Stiiv.
Stiiv will be as Raybob, basically standing in the open,
Okay, adjust yourselves accordingly. Do you
waiting
want,
to greet.
I forgot to ask, beyond giving you the call out, shout out, do you want Chef Perkins to be doing anything else?
Go back upstairs where it's safe.
Okay, so he's back in the kitchen where he can't be harmed.
Okay, what are we doing with the cannon?
That's
Back
there
up.
just in case. I think we're gonna wait to see how it goes with Shaefira on the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Why
Well-
is the DM giggling?
No, it's just that Kereithlana sounds so dubious.
I'm just thinking it takes about 20 minutes to get a cannon into position, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, and the person who was doing the illusion is off on the boat already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bugger.
No, that's why we moved the cannon to the side of the house, wasn't it? So we didn't have to worry about the illusion.
Oh yeah, okay.
We've got them two big burly guards, they can move it faster than we can.
So are you guys positioned?
Is that a rock I'm behind? Looks like a rock.
Rock with a piece of rope on.
You are behind a rock.
Is it a large rock? Will it hide
It
me?
is a large rock. It is
Okay,
where
I'll stay
the jolly boat was typically tied up. You could easily fit behind it. There probably isn't room for another person, but one person can hide behind it, as long as they aren't a Goliath.
I will stay there.
About 30 minutes after Shaefira set off, you start to hear the sounds of splashing echoing through the cave entrance. And is Steve still standing where Steve's standing?
Stiiv is standing where he's standing as Raybob.
As Ray Bob. Okay.
Yeah, so he's in smuggler guise, wide open, ready to open arms receive our guests.
So Kymir is hiding behind a rock. Kereithlana is hiding kind of around a little pocket corner in the curve of the caves. And Stiiv is standing with open arms, Raybob welcoming the other smugglers into their lovely cave establishment. And he sees a jolly boat slowly paddle up.
And
There's somebody working the sail a little, getting a little extra speed on. It's fully laden. You see 5 people. Roll a deception check, Stiiv. And Kymir and Kereithlana roll stealth checks.
Doopy-doopy-doo.
Kereithlana starts giggling crazily in the corner.
Yep.
No, wait. You rolled stealth twice. The first roll. Oh,
that
was
was
an
from a
old
previous
roll.
roll.
Okay. Yeah. There's some noticeable giggling around the corner. And
Did we notice any female smugglers? Could it just be that it's one of the female smugglers giggling?
none of the smugglers in the boat are female.
Don't remember killing any women either.
Shanbalay's playing around with some new magic malice. Don't pay attention to that.
They totally believe Steve's excuse.
Four.
One of the smugglers hops out of the boat and he moves toward you a little, Stiiv. And he says, "What was up with that other boat?"
We're down a couple people, so we didn't really have a whole lot to help with the rowing.
No. Well, no, that's not a problem. I mean, other people could jump on and help man it back to to the shore. It's the fact that there was stuff on the boat.
Oh yeah, that's something. Sandbelay sending some things out for basically for what's the word? Collateral trade.
Collateral trade? What
Yeah.
is
He
that?
said he said there was a note that you were supposed to give the captain, and
Oh,
that would explain what it's.
is that one of
It's orders that are above my pay grade. You know what I mean?
the captain's special cargoes?
Special, yeah, big old air quotes. Special things, yeah, that we're not supposed to know about.
Ooh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. 'Cause normally you guys aren't bringing anything to the boat. Because, I mean, the whole point of you going to the ship is to pick up stuff.
Right, yeah.
We thought y'all had gone crazy.
Well, not. Well, he's a little crazy, but no, we're not.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Where do you want the stuff?
All right, just bring it over here. We got a little pile at the, and I'll point
Where do you
to the
point?
piles that are already here. I've marked it on the map. There's some piles right there.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll wait until they get close there.
The
And
first two, they're carrying a very heavy barrel. It's large, about the size of one of the gunpowder barrels.
move out of the way to give them some space.
And they move over here. Kereithlana, do another stealth check. Kymir, do another stealth check.
I'm getting
That's
worse.
screwed.
And as they're carrying the barrel, this first barrel, one of them hears a clank of squeaky armor, looks over his shoulder and spots Kereithlana. And he lets out like, "Hey!" And then the other one hears that and he decides to look around too, and he sees Kymir hiding behind a rock. And they're like, "What's going on here?"
Toby in the
Stranger
boat,
danger!
Eldritch Blast. Toby in the boat, Eldritch Blast to the other guy.
Okay. Everybody roll initiative who's in this cave. Now, Stiiv, you get to move first because they were
Surprise
trusting
round.
you. Because Kereithlana and Kymir failed your stealth checks earlier, you don't get to make any kind of initial attacks the first round.
Okay, that's within 60 feet. Okay. Oops, that's guard 1. Why do I have guard 1 up? Come on, Toby. Uh-oh. Toby the Tentacle is now linked to guard 1.
What? I don't even
How did
see
that
him.
happen?
I don't see him on guard 1. Oh, and we don't have Toby out.
Well, I mean, my link to Toby the Tentacle goes to...
I don't know what you did.
I don't know either. Because it linked to Toby earlier.
But Toby's gonna be here soon.
Yeah,
Sois tranquille.
Bonus action, summon Toby. There we
Tentacle
go.
on the boat.
Well, hold on. I remember how to do this without him being on the combat tracker. There. Okay. If you delete the one that's on the map now. And
Toby seems rather small there. He got bigger.
He pumped
there we
Toby
go.
up.
I am here to pump you up. Oh, I did my clap, didn't get picked up, whatever. So there's Toby, bonus action.
So you get to Toby, and what does
and
Toby do?
Toby is going to smack Smuggler Scout number 1. And boom! And he has his speed reduced by 10 feet for next round.
Oh, which was that smuggler scout one?
Yep, Scout, I put the effect on him. So.
Coolio.
And then Eldritch Blast at Smuggler number 2. Ooh. He's being effective.
Bloody hell.
Pew!
Woo! It's like
Tasty.
Stiiv was made for this.
He's actually warlocking. I mean,
Warlocking.
shock.
You blast the smuggler with your dark green smoke of really kind of gross stuff. And he is ravaged. Like, he goes from being this perfectly hale and hearty sailor man to being this gaping raw mass of wounds and burnt places. He's still standing, but you have nearly murderized him.
And last bit, move into the corner as far away from everyone as possible.
Okay. With that, we're
that's
moving
my turn.
back to Shaefira. Still rowing her boat. She rows, unaware that any combat has broken out back upon shore. Something's happening there. You don't know about it. It's really lonely on boats by yourself. The water splashing up against the sides of the jolly boat. Make a survival check.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
There is a crest of water that splashes up against the side of the jolly boat, and there's a small little jet of water that just douses the barrels.
Oh.
But you keep rowing. Another 10 minutes. And you pull up alongside a ship. You see that even in this dark light, you can make out the stenciling on the side. And you find that the name of this vessel is called the Sea Ghost. You can also tell that the ship is parallel to the coastline. The port side is facing the cliff side, with the starboard facing out to the sea.
That's great. I know absolutely nothing about boats, so I don't know which side is.
Okay, left side. Left side, that's the crypt side. It's facing the cliffs. So left side's
Right,
cliff
okay.
side, right side is facing out to the open sea.
Okay.
And you
So-
see that there are a couple people on the side, kind of looking over the edge of the boat from above. And then you can also just barely make out in a crow's nest. High above the deck of the ship, there's a lone figure, and they seem to have, they're holding on to something. They also have a lantern. You see a light flashing.
Oh, I feel we've missed
Okay.
an opportunity.
Surely
You come-
nothing would go wrong.
You come alongside, and you see a figure lean over, and they call down. What? What? That's Geordie there?
Ah, yeah.
What are you doing on your lonesome?
Oh, there's some food poisoning going on back at the mansion, so I'm by myself. I didn't eat the waffles and squid that everybody else ate, so I'm fine.
Bad fried squid.
Yeah, really bad fried squid. Yeah.
Roll a deception check. he calls back down to you. What do you got barrels for? Your ship's supposed to be empty.
Oh, they're it's brandy. Sambalay thought that the crew might enjoy a few drinks tonight on us.
Sambalay was that generous. Roll another deception check. Whew, it's about time. Well, get it on up here. And there's ropes that are lowered.
So it occurs to me the only thing we're actually effective at is lying.
Yeah.
Speak for
There's
yourself.
at the end of there are two ropes lowered, and at the end of there's like this net. Another one is like a basket kind of situation. And then you see one smuggler shimmy down the side of the ship, joining you in the jolly boat. And he assists you in moving these barrels into the kind of yoinking system. Words are hard. I can't begin to think of what it would be called. But the hoisty thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
the pulley.
A hoist and pulley system to get the cargo on the deck of the ship.
Mhm.
He points to the side of the barrel and he laughs. He's like, someone doesn't know how to spell brandy.
Who painted them? Oh yeah. Can I just ask, is there a lighted torch on my little jolly boat?
No.
Oh, fireball, yes. Sorry, forgot. Okay, yeah. So we're hoisting these
Hoist the
barrels
cargo.
up onto the ship.
They help you up, and there's this expectation that you're going to help them load the jolly boat full of stuff. There are smugglers still on this jolly boat, because you see the bodies start moving to and fro. A couple smugglers lower down to the ship to start receiving cargo. There were a couple who are helping you with the stuff that you pulled aboard ship. Once you're on deck, you see there's at least 4 smugglers and a bosun that are starting to move to and fro. Plus, there are the 2 that are down below in your jolly boat receiving cargo.
Okay.
And one of them asks, the bosun asks you, are you going to be able to, Jordy, are you going to be able to get this cargo back on your lonesome, or do we need to send somebody back with you?
I reckon I should be able to manage, guys. Don't you worry about.
The smuggler that you were talking to says to the bosun, this brandy's for us. It's a gift from Sambalay. Where do you want it? And he's like, oh, take it to the ship's stores. So you see a couple of smugglers start to pick up these barrels, Shaefira. What do you do?
How quickly are they moving? Where are the stores? Is it going to take them a while to get it down there? Because I could just quickly shout down to the 2 guys in my that are in my little boat. Here, quick, come up here before they drink all the brandy, and then shoot my fireball and jump off into the ocean. Right, quick.
Wow.
With your firebolt?
Yeah.
You see,
Oh God.
I'm just double checking something. I'm like, what is that there for? So So what they've done is they crank open. You see a large grate on top of the deck, and I'll like share a map with you.
I hope that didn't pick up. I just pushed F to yawn.
F to yawn.
Yeah, that was. Hopefully that didn't pick up.
Okay,
Then I
so you're
confessed
on
to
the
it,
main
so.
deck with your barrels, and there's a bunch of other smugglers with you. You see that jolly boat is
Large
not
ball
actually
of
there.
yarn.
That jolly boat is actually on its way to, or has arrived at the house. There's that
Ball of yarn.
It's a large ball of yarn.
That's the mast.
It's-
The ball of yarn represents the mast.
I was going to say it's a ball of it's a ball of elastic bands. Some poor bugger was bored to death and had too many elastic bands and didn't know what to do.
And then there's a great hatch cover. And you see smugglers, they pull back the hatch cover. And there are some stairs below to carry cargo. And some of it's getting lowered, some of it's the stairs are being used. You see, from your vantage point here on the main deck, though the light is dim at best, you can see details of the ship's main deck. In the center, forward of the mast, a jolly boat. There's a place where the jolly boat is usually lashed. You see a bunch of ropes piled there. Aft of the mast is a hatch to below decks. Aft means it's behind it.
Okay.
And there's a rope ladder along the mast that climbs to the crow's nest that you noticed had a person flashing a light up above. You've got 4 smugglers with you, and then there's the 2 that are down below receiving cargo in the jolly boat. You see rolls of canvas and rope. You see vague outlines of doors. 3 to the front of the boat. 4 to the back. And so they're going down into this hatch, and I've already forgotten what you said you were doing.
I'm going to blow up the ship as soon as I can.
So there are 2 guys carrying one of the barrels. You see 2 of the other smugglers headed to grab the other barrel as it's going down. And they start to move down the stairs toward what you can perceive seems to be a hold that is filled, from what you can tell, peering down the opening. There is silk. There are more silk rolls, and a lot more of these brandy-sized barrels.
Flammable brandy.
So, do you do anything to? Are you just following them along, or are you helping to carry the barrels down?
No, I'm not helping. I rode it over. I'm knackered, so I'm just watching them carry it down, and as soon as I get an opportunity, I'm just gonna fire my firebolt at the barrel when they're nearly down in the hold. So it's a big kaboom right in the middle.
Okay. So you're sticking around the edges. You're up on the main deck. You're sticking around the edge of the hatch cover.
Yes.
Watching what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They go down these stairs. They're carrying the barrels. They set them down. I'm sharing another map. So they set them down amongst all these barrels. There's a little clear space at the end, and they put one on one side, and they put another on the other side.
Okay.
So you got, let me put little X's, because somebody didn't make fancy barrel icons. So if you can see that X, there's one barrel there, and then there's one barrel here. X marks
Okay.
the barrel. They've set the barrels down. They've stepped back, and they look like they're kind of mustering to come back up the stairs. What do you do?
So all these other barrels, have they got brandy in?
They look like they're brandy barrels to you.
Right. Can I smell brandy? Are there fumes coming up from? Because I want to make sure it's somewhat flammable before, because I might just aim at one of the nearer barrels and then hope that it sets off.
The air is kind of musty and wet, but yes, you can smell the distinctly sweet scent of brandy. I'm putting you there on the main deck. Hopefully that is not... Adjust yourselves if you want to be somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna fire my firebolt at the barrel that I can see.
Okay. Which barrel are you aiming at?
It'll be this one at the bottom.
Okay, the lower one. Because they got wet, you're at a disadvantage. But, or actually, let's say it's disadvantage, but it is going to be a little bit harder to actually set them on fire. So just go ahead and roll. And it's going to be dependent on the damage you do, whether or not they catch fire. Or whether or not it catches fire.
Okay. What? Okay. Okay.
And I also want you to roll a stealth roll as you do it to see if you can get away with shooting your firebolt without anyone noticing.
Ooh. Okay. Should
So
I do that first?
So first roll your ranged attack for targeting. Okay, so that will hit. Roll a stealth check. Nobody notices you with the 17. Now
And
roll your
then-
damage to see if this barrel catches fire.
Oh.
Wait, that's an attack roll.
Oh wait. Sorry. Hang on a minute.
Oh, it absolutely does. The wood bursts into flame, and nobody has noticed so far that this barrel to the southern part of the hold is on fire. What do you do?
I run away. Run away. Right quick. Jump off the side and swim for shore.
Okay, so Shaefira has shot her firebolt. Powerful force of flame manages to ignite this damp barrel of gunpowder, and she does it without anybody noticing. She was completely behind their backs when they weren't looking, and she runs across the deck, perhaps startling the bosun and the couple of or not the couple, just the bosun who is still aboard deck. She leaps over the side into the water, starts swimming to shore. And that's where we're going to end it.
That may be the most effective thing that we've ever done.
That was straight up Mission Impossible.
Hey, we should have had that sound going in the background.
That was some critical rolling right there, Shaefira.
Yeah, it was. It helps to get your crappy ones out first thing, doesn't it?
Mind
Yeah,
the
like when
staircraft.
you go to
Yeah.
try and walk into town, there's bury the tomato vendor. Or if you just happen to be Kereithlana.
He just happened to be
Just
Kereithlana.
happen to be Kereithlana, just bad rolls.
I'm
Awesome.
surprised that actually went well at all.
Yes, same here.
Mm.
That was, yeah, that's what I mean. That was some Mission Impossible execution.
fun.
Like,
4 good rolls on, well, 3 good rolls on the troller. That was awesome.
and then perfect damage. Boom.
So it
Yeah.
is good that you guys got all your like silly rolls out of the way when you were in town.
Yeah.
Well, I guess some
And
of
then
the cave stuff was a little silly.
Well, we got a surprise round out of it. I mean,
Ray Bob got to
And-
surprise everybody. Tentacle
No,
surprise.
yeah.
Good. Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
thanks.
Thanks,
Cool.
Bonnie.
That was a blast.
We shall wish farewell. Bye,
All right.
Stiiv.
Bye, Stiiv.
Bye,
Don't
Stiiv.
die.
See you in a couple of weeks, guys.
Tra.